Good morning, students. As we have started with the 9th standard science, the chapter diversity in living organisms. So on the word diversity, there are millions of organisms, both plants and animals together. So just to study, to understand about them for our convenience, we have made them into different categories. So in that we have completed with the invertebrates, right, and protochordates, and in our previous class we discussed what are all the general characteristics of the vertebrates, right students? So what do you mean by vertebrates? The organisms which are all having vertebral column, means which are all having the backbone, are called as the vertebrates. So again we are classifying vertebrates in 5 classes, right? So class Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So let us start all these one by one. First, the class that is Pisces. Class Pisces is nothing but you are going to discuss about fishes. Whatever the variety of fishes we find, maybe the normal fish, it may be Labiorhyncha, it may be the shark, flying fish, electric ray fish. So many varieties of fishes comes, students. All these fishes comes under the group called as the Pisces. Okay? Yes. So let us start with the general characteristics of the class Pisces. The first one. So this is the group of fishes, means where you find the fishes? Yes, we find them in the water. So what you can say, students? Exclusively aquatic. It may be any type of water resource we can get the fishes, right? So what you can say? Exclusively aquatic. Fine. Coming to their body structure, here I have done one rough diagram of the fish, students. How is the body? Boat-shaped body, right? As it is in the water, it has to move in the water. So the body is boat-shaped body. That is called streamlined body. Streamlined body it has. Right? Okay. Body is streamlined shape. Fine. What about the respiration then? How it will do the respiration? As you all know, it is having the gills. With the help of the gills, we find the respiration. Right? Along with the gills, you can see there are different types of the fins are there, called as pelvic fin, pectoral fin, caudal fin, right? So these helps for the movement, balancing the body in the water as well as for the movement, these fins helps. And you can see the body of the fish, students, here, whatever you can see this. So these are called as the scales. The body, the skin, it has fully covered with the scales because it protects the body. Protection is the main intention. So you find the scales on the body. Right? Okay. Next one, very important, students, that these are cold-blooded animals. These are cold-blooded animals. What is the meaning of cold-blooded? Students, we are dividing the organisms as the 2 types. As the cold-blooded animals and warm-blooded animals. What is this cold-blooded and warm-blooded? See, fishes and all, how the climatic changes are there. Winter, summer, rainy season, how the climatic changes are there, they will adjust their body temperature. They can change their body temperature according to the climatic changes. So they are considered as the cold-blooded animals. example of our body, can we change our body temperature like that? Can we change it in summer? Let me make it cool, like that option is there? No. So we all comes under warm-blooded. Warm-blooded means the organisms which cannot change their body temperature according to the climatic changes are called warm-blooded. Cold-blooded means organisms which can change their body temperature according to the climatic changes are called cold-blooded animals. Okay, students? So fishes are cold-blooded animals, right? How many chambered heart these are all having? 2 chambered heart. 2 chambered heart. In the heart, as we are all having 4 chambered heart, if you see here only 2 chambered heart you can find. That is what right from the beginning of this chapter I am telling you, students, how the scientists have arranged all these things based on the path of evolution. Right? So evolutionary path. So fishes are having only 2 chambered heart. Right? Coming to the reproduction, these are egg-laying animals. Egg-laying. Hope you know, students, we are categorizing the organisms as the oviparous and the viviparous. Oviparous and the viviparous. Do you know the meaning? Oviparous means egg-laying animals. Egg-laying animals are called oviparous. Viviparous means the animals which will give birth to the young ones. Which will give birth to the young ones, those are called viviparous. Like mammals, right? Will give birth to the young ones comes under viviparous. Oviparous means egg-laying animals. So these are all the terms which you have to remember, students. Okay, it is visible. So these are oviparous, 2-chambered heart, right? Cold-blooded animals. Gills are there for the respiration. The body has covered with the scales, streamlined body, and these are exclusively aquatic. Coming to the skeletal system, if you check the skeleton is cartilage, cartilaginous. Already in the previous class tissues, we have learned about cartilaginous tissue and the bony tissue, right? Okay. So the skeleton is of cartilage. But there are few fishes which are having bones, bony skeleton also is present. So we can say some are with the cartilage, example like the shark and all. Some are with the bony fishes, right? It may be the rohu, tuna and all. And so like this we find the skeletal system in case of the fishes called as parasites. Hope you are following, students. Take down all the general features. Then we will move on to the next class. The second class Amphibia. Members we are calling as amphibians. What is the meaning of amphibia? The organisms which we find both on the land, in the water. See, just now I told you evolutionary path. Fishes exclusively aquatic, only in the water you find. They can't live on the land and live their life, right? But see the amphibians, where you find on the land as well as in the water. Means one step evolution we can find in the next class, that is amphibia, right? But for reproduction, still they used to go back to the water. Means there is no complete evolution to the terrestrial ecosystem, right? So the meaning of amphibia is living both in water and on a land. Fishes, just now we have discussed, the body is covered with the scales for the protection, right? But in the amphibians, what you are getting? You get mucus glands. On the body, you get the mucus glands. Example for the amphibians like frog, students. So many examples will come. Just now, one you remember, that is frog. You might have seen, touched the frog and all. So the body will be slimy. Okay. Why it is slimy? Why? Because on the skin it is having the mucus glands. It will secrete the mucus, that is the slimy. Okay. That is what the body is like that. Right? Okay. Mucus glands. Next. The next one, where you find in the water, on the land. In the water, how they will do the respiration? With the help of the gills. Okay. And on the land, lungs and the skin. See students, what are all the respiratory organs of amphibians? They may respire with the help of the gills. It may be with the help of the lungs. It may be with the help of the skin. So usually we will consider the gills and lungs for the respiration, students. So that is the way of respiration. How many chambered heart it has? It has a 3-chambered heart. It has 3-chambered heart. Okay. Hope you are taking down the points, students. Next factor, body can be divisible into head and trunk. Okay. Next, it has 4 limbs. So that is what it is called as tetrapod. Pod means the limbs. So how many limbs it has? 4 limbs having the first land vertebrate. So it is called as tetrapod. And each one having the 5 digits, that is called pentadactyl. The limbs are with the digits. So digits, 5 digits are there. So we will call it as a pentadactyl. Coming to the next character, these are oviparous, external fertilization. Oviparous, egg-laying animals, external fertilization. Fertilization takes place outside the body, that is the meaning external fertilization. And we find metamorphism. What is metamorphism? As the frog, they will lay the eggs will convert into tadpole. Like this it looks. Okay, so this is called as the tadpole. As the path of development, tadpole will lose its tail and it will grow as an adult frog. It will grow as an adult frog. So in the developmental stage, you find the extra one, that is the presence of tadpole. So this is called as metamorphism. Right? So these special features we can find in case of the glass amphibia. Examples like a frog, toad, salamander, ichthyophis. It may be the hyla called as tree frog. Like that, so many varieties will come, students. Varieties of frogs we can see. So all this comes under the group of amphibians. Fine. So what are all the characteristics? You find them both in the water as well as on the land. Respiration with the help of gills, lungs. Mucus glands are present on the skin. 3-chambered heart. Cold-blooded animals. Body can be divisible into head and trunk. These are with the 4 limbs called tetrapods. Each pod with the 5 digits called pentadactyl. Oviparous, egg-laying animals. Fertilization takes place in the water, that is outside the body, called external fertilization. Metamorphism. Metamorphism means in the developmental part we find one extra stage. These are called tadpoles. Again they will grow into new organism, that is the extra. Right? Examples like a frog, toad, salamander, ichthyophis. So these are all the examples to the group of amphibians. Right, students? The third class, reptilia. So shall we continue the reptilia in our next class? Okay. Take down today's home assignment, students. Draw a neat labeled diagram of Labiorhyncha. In your textbook, so many examples are there, students. It may be the seahorse, different types of fishes, so many are there. So they have written Labiorhyncha. Okay, that fish you draw and label the parts. Second question. Write the general features of class Amphibia. Okay, students, please go to the textbook, and this whatever we have learned today, this also you practice. Draw the diagrams. Remaining we'll discuss in our next class. Okay, thank you.